Well, today I'm going to take a walk down Tholty Will, which is what's shown in the title, down to the Glen. There's two paths we're going to take. Just this one here is the start of the path. Park up on the road, easy enough to do, and then make your way down the Glen. It's been done up this year by Defra, and he's chasing the sheep up the track. And you'll see things like this little wooden enemy. It's just coming out in flower now in the lower part of the Glen. Good track now. Defra must be complimented on what they've done. Path is safe, steep down. This time of year all the flowers come out. This is a celandine. Lovely shady yellow. And the steps too are nice and not unslippery. Nice rail, handrail, so you feel safe. So there's a hard slog up out of the Glen, but other than that, not really too much trouble. We've got a little seat too to give you a rest. And the sycamore this year is brilliant green, as green as I've seen it for many years. And just down this part of the track you get a chance to split off. Bottom down here. Go straight across the track and come to these lovely little bits of the river. They're now not in full flow like they would have been normally, but even so, worth visiting. The flowers and stuff down are just delightful. Even when we're down as early as it is, the azaleas and the rhododendrons are all starting to come out. You turn down this corner of the track here and take these steps down. Past these traditional Manx bluebells, they tell me, the Spanish invaders. We're all out in bloom too. And there's where the path splits. We're taking the right hand fork today. That'll take us back up along the top of the Glen. Just above where the old Tholty Will pub used to be. Spent many a night in there in my youth. We've done a couple of discos now too, Always nice to have Penny with me. Good company. And you'll come to this sturdy bridge, which is a lot more sturdy than the original one was here. And if you pause for a few minutes, you can look at this little waterfall, which didn't have much flowing today, but it has in the past. You get a very pungent aroma from this plant. I forget the name of it. And if you move on along the path, you'll come to this little spot. Well, today we're on the way to Tholty Will Farm, I hope. This is Tholty Will Glen, and it's late April. Bluebells are just starting to come out, and this track takes us back down to Tholty Will eventually. Down below me is the old Tholty Will pub, and in the trees is the little chapel that was rebuilt recently. Such a pretty track and sheltered. That's the acorns on the ground. That's the pine cones probably. Blown down over the winter. And not far into the Glen there's a little ruin we want to go and visit called Tholty Will Farm. It's not the original Tholty Will Farm, that's further up. But it's no longer there. These little wood enemies gently wafting in the breeze. Now here's where the path diverges, and a bit early for the bluebells to be out, but they'll be on their way. There's some down low in the glen. And there we are. It's coming into view now. It's Tholt Farm. Nice range of buildings on it. House is still there, although bits of it have gone, as per usual. Of course, there's a picture this year. It's a real treat. So let's see what we can discover about Tholt. Done a bit of homework on it. This is one of my Tholt books, not sure which one. There's a story in there. It was inspired by a visit to this little place. If I get a chance, I may put it on the tape for you. Right, so Tholt Farm is behind me, as I said. When we first came here, all the walls were intact, and the little stove pot was still in the ground. It's still there, but it's been cut out of the stones. Quite a few buildings around the place. It had its own water wheel, and then casement is just the other side of the wall here. We'll have a look at that in a minute. And about 60 or 70 acres was its. It would be steep, facing into the sun most of the day. Would have been pleasant in the summertime, harsh in the winter time, like most of these little places. I'm not sure when it was abandoned many years ago, maybe 100 years ago. And quails were the ones who inhabited most of these farms. The original life came from the sea, and then inhabited all these farms up and around here, one way or another. And there's probably about 12 or 15 that I know of, and it would have been 300 or 400 people in its heyday. Difficult to believe that now when I'm sitting up here today, and not a soul except me and Penny. Anyway, let's have a look around and see what we can see. Thorn trees have got out of hand for drying the clothes on. They've grown a lot. They would have been planted there, as I said, for drying. Kept as a bush though, probably. And in front of the house was their garden. So there was a stream running past. Have a look at the house to start with. Huge big house on this place. Double floors. And central stairway as usual. So now as the it falls down, nature takes over. Thorn trees growing proudly in the hallway. Probably the kitchen actually. And it looks like Joe and Jess were last up here. I think that's fairly yeah, it looks like 2020. It's a view from the kitchen window. The Crammock. No, I keep forgetting, it's Cregan's in the distance. We were last here about 3 years ago, and this wall was completely intact this end, but it's gone now. There's the old chimney and a double line on the ground beside it. It's a chimney pot. Sad, very sad. So this one here in the horizon is the Creggans, which is in private ownership, but looking at it now, walls have fell out, the roof is gone. That's in the last couple of years. And just further on, or a little bit closer to the road, there's a place called the Corridee. I think they're both in private ownership these days. This one is called Slumannoch. Some monks apparently. Scoff monks, but I'm not sure that's true or not. And to the right of this, so just below in the valley, is Block Erie Dam, and Block Erie Tholt to the top of that. It's one of the little sheds. Don't know what it would be for. Could have been for anything really. Gorse is out in full bloom. You can virtually smell it today. Somebody was here before us, Mr. Kayla, or Mrs. Kayla. Who knows? It's a lintel placed by the wall in readiness. You never know, it may be needed. That's some view on a summer's morning. You finished your chores, looking out here, the sun in the sky. As I said, there's a variety of buildings. This one here would be the cart shed. Those holes and spots there in the wall would be where the mill was installed. All these little cubby holes had a meaning and a use. Bit of wooden niddle still here and there. Walls have got various cracks in them, they'll not be around for much longer, I'm afraid. This is the wheel casement area. As I said, the water came down through here. This was the axle casing or axle support for the wheel. That's all that's left now to tell us there was a wheel here one time. There would have been a dozen thrashing mills in this area, most horse mills, but this was a water mill. Now through the opening at the bottom there and down into the valley. I don't know that before, they've actually built it into the corner of the yard. Sort of cut it on an angle, or built it at an angle. Quite a few places did that when we were out and about. Little stalls made of slate. All these places were connected together too. It was quite nice in a wet winter, a cold winter, to walk from one place to go outside in the harsh wind. Just imagine the old farmer standing in the doorway here, looking out over the hillside, pipe in his hand, surveying the world and thinking, life's not too bad really. Even though you wouldn't have anything like running water or electricity. They would be warm, I'm sure, and they would have food. In those days, that's about all you really needed, I think.